So bear with me. I have been procrastinating in the background, trying to get my act together. But here we are now. I just said, stop it, get on and record, and let's get on with it. It's that minor anxiety of, am I going to get things right? So you might resonate with this. Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome. This is a podcast where we turn pain into power, isolation into connection. Navigating a chronic illness can feel so isolating, but you are not alone. I'm Chico, your fellow Fibro and MECFS warrior, and I'm glad that you're here with me today. Have you ever felt like fibromyalgia isn't just playing its own difficult game, but it's also teaming up with other health conditions against you? You're not imagining it, and you are not broken. Today, we're going to be talking about what we can do about it too, which is essential. Okay, so here are some gentle action plans for you. I've written down 4, and hopefully you find this of use if you're not already aware of this. And please feel free to also contribute of any other things that you found helpful, any advices you found helpful to help you in your recovery process. Find a conductor doctor. Okay, if you can look for a doctor who is a specialist, who understands multiple or multi-morbidity, so multiple conditions, and how you can be impacted, especially when you have a flu or cold-like symptoms, who can look at a whole symphony of your health, not just one instrument, holistic. And I believe in holistic and integrated medical care. And that's one of the things that I did. I prioritized in terms of learning more about my condition and finding a doctor who looked at me as one individual and not as generic. That can be helpful. The second one, become a master of pacing in all things. So essential. Okay. To always think before you act. And I've had to do this over and over again. After crashing so many times in the beginning, I've learned to master this so that I don't experience the crash and burns anymore. And it takes a lot of practice mentally because your body wants to pace, and your mind is thinking quickly and your body wants to be racing at the same pace. But unfortunately, it doesn't work with Fibro, ME, and CFS and other related conditions. It's about finding a balance and being mindful before you take any other action. Pace your activity, your cognitive effort, your emotional stress, and your immune exertion. This is when you're well and when you're not well. These are all important. Plan for extended rest before, during, and long after any illness or any major stressor. This is a non-negotiable. I even do this with planning for going like on even a 2-hour or 1-hour trip. I plan in advance. Rest. When I arrive at the destination, rest. And then when I come back afterwards, rest. And in between what I'm doing in the activities, have siesta moments so that my body is catching up and it's the energy itself is coming down. All that sensory activity from the exertion is coming down so that there's a balance. Then number 3 is to track interactions. Okay, so what do I mean by tracking interactions? My prompter has just gone off for some reason. That's my light. It doesn't last very long. So on my mobile phone, I might just seem a little bit dim, but that's the reason why. Track the interactions. Keep a simple log. Notice when your blood sugar is high, for example, or when your pain spikes, or after that stressful call, or when your fatigue is worse. The data is gold. It's golden for you and for your doctors. So you're monitoring your activity. And you can also use the apps nowadays where you can track your symptoms. And in my other previous podcasts, I've also introduced podcasts where you can track symptoms And when I complete this podcast, I'll add a link for other podcasts. If I don't remember, blame my Fibro, but also remind me as a prompter if I forget. Number 4, advocate the perfect storm language. Explain to your loved ones, anybody close to you. Example, my systems are already overwhelmed managing my daily condition. Okay. When I am sick, it's like a minor storm hitting a coastline already battered by a hurricane. The damage is greater and takes much longer to repair. Okay, that's just an example. So you explain to your loved one what happens during this, perfect storm of yours, so that you can have that additional support, or people can also just back away and give you that space for you to be able to recover without adding on any additional stress. Here's a closing thought for you today. Having fibromyalgia with another chronic condition doesn't mean you're broken beyond repair. It means you are a navigator of one of the most complex terrain in human health. Okay, I'll repeat again. It means you are a navigator of one of the most complex terrains in human health. It requires more patience, more self-advocacy, and more gentleness than most people will ever understand. Your slower recovery isn't a failure. You're not to blame. It's a testament. It's proof of the immense multi-battle your body is fighting every single day. You're not just a warrior, you're a general, strategizing, adapting, and managing a war on multiple fronts. And that deserves recognition, respect, and a deep, deep compassion. Starting with the compassion you show yourself. That love, the self-compassion, the empathy has to come from you first. And then it can be externalized for others. You can never wait for other people to feel that for you. Start feeling it for yourself. It helps ease everything that's going on internally. And I believe that strongly. Before I go, I want to leave you with some support. Everything we talked about today, managing these complex storms, is a journey, and it's better when we don't walk it alone. Okay. If today's conversation resonated with you, I've gathered resources to help you to take you to the next step. You can find them at the end of my blog posts on Substack and on other platforms where you will find my podcast or this video. Okay, I usually provide links via Substack and YouTube. Okay, I am so excited to also share with you something special which I've been working on, which feels like forever. Okay, it took me forever, I tell you, it feels like it. I have been creating a supportive space, a community of living well with fibromyalgia. And this stems from my experience of over 8 years of living with fibromyalgia, ME, and CFS, from being bedbound and then to learning how to live with this condition. So I've packed in lessons learned, what has truly worked for me emotionally and physically, including strategies of how to ease chronic pain. And that was a key essential part of my journey, was to ease chronic pain from severe debilitating symptoms to living with a way that is manageable, to the point where the only time I experience chronic pain is when I overexert myself. And that takes a lot of mental practice and also being in the right spaces and realizing that some spaces are not suitable, whether it's social or whether it's professional. And those are the things that are packed in this community that I've developed. So it's a twofold, a course and a community supported by me. And if this is something that you feel could be beneficial for you, then do connect with me and let me know that you would like to take part in this journey too. Okay, for this year and going forward, you become a lifelong contributor to that community too. And I'll also be adding additional resources. Uh, as a collective, I'll be sharing that, and hopefully others will also be contributing to focusing on resilience and ways to live well with fibromyalgia and any other related chronic illnesses. You can find the early details of this. Links will be provided below my podcast and any video links that you will find. And then I always include other resources, gentle guides that I've created, tools that can be used as helpful guides if you feel like it's overwhelming and you need somebody to assist you to go through it in terms of moving through the process, somebody like an accountability partner. I'm only a message away. Feel free to pop me a message or link up with somebody else who is a warrior, who understands you, is judgment-free, that you can also work together with in terms of moving forward, who's an accountability person who can assist you. You mutually assist each other to develop ways of having an optimistic outlook. Trust me, it works in terms of easing all the other symptoms. No cures, but easing some of the symptoms. If you found comfort or clarity, please help with this condition to reach other warriors who need it, okay? Who could benefit from being part of this community. Do share this episode out. If you're new here, welcome. Do remember to hit the subscribe button. And also you will find this podcast, Substack does something unique. When I record, it sends it off to other platforms. And I believe the other platform is Spotify. I need to double check that, but you'll find me there in the podcast waves too, if you like listening rather than watching videos. So don't miss out on what's next. If you've got a story to share, experiences to share, I always welcome those too. This ending note has been a bit longer, but thank you for staying with me through this and for listening as always, and for being part of this quiet, strong community. Until next time, remember your pace is the right pace. Be kind to yourself. Until next time, ciao for me for now.